Okay, hi, Sketchbook Tour and all. This is number 4. It's a continuation of number 2. This is like the 4th time I've had to try and record the audio for it because I keep running into issues with that. So I'm really gonna hope that it's fine this way through. I couldn't use the original audio because it was really garbage, really quiet. Weird sounds in the back when I tried to boost it. It was generally unusable. Anyway, about the sketchbook. I made it myself. I used like cardboard and paper and stuff, glue and whatever to make the pieces, I think. I wrapped it in paper so that it would all stick together, and sorry if you hear any weird sounds in the background. I have at least one of my pets in here, maybe both of them, I'm not sure. One might be under the blankets on my bed. Anyway. What was I saying? Yeah, okay, so I made the sketchbook myself. And I used, I think, a Coptic stitch to do it. I didn't use waxed thread or anything particularly sturdy, so I had to fix it several times. Because while I think I used multiple plies, it wasn't particularly strong thread overall. Yeah. Ooh, getting dry mouth a little bit. Pardon me. I have my coffee right here. Anyway, this is the back of it. Little scuffed up, but anyway, I drew some little guys with like acrylic paint markers. That's cool. I decorated with like stickers and whatever. That's cool. I used like watered down paint to make splatters. And I also let it just run down it. I kind of remember doing it ever so vaguely. It was a while ago. So I started this in October of 2021, ended in March 2025. So it lasted a while, a good few years or so. I had other sketchbooks I was working on at the time though, so that kinda makes sense why. Then I have this page, it's full of stickers, a lot of it, from stuff that I bought or got or whatever. Some of them I printed out. It's really just a bunch of stickers I threw on there to fill up space on the first page. First page is always like the worst page. Washi tape, just some swatches and stuff of different ones I had, and then I put everything down on a little pile over there. I've got this doodle, and it looks like something happened to the edge of it. Like water damage or something. I'm not sure. Probably from like being in like a bag or carrying it around, or maybe it happened recently. I'm really not sure. But it kind of just happened anyway. The doodling itself, I just kind of do stuff without any real thought. They're those little guys. They're fun to add in there. Okay, next page. Just kind of a bunch of like garbage and other stuff. And then there's pregame Shuichi and pregame Kokichi. Yeah. That weird black triangle right there, by the way, that's like fabric. I don't know why I felt like adding that in, like to say, whatever. More like wrappers and garbage and stuff than I felt like putting in. And this is like the old design of my persona and a couple of other characters. This page is kind of just a collection of stuff. There's flowers that I drew, and real flowers that I just taped in. Here I have like more flowers and more real flowers. That's a pony character I made right there, who never got a cutie mark, and they feel really bad about it, so of course now they go grave robbing to steal cutie marks and sew them on, because that makes a lot of sense. Whatever, I don't know. I thought it was kind of a fun idea, and something to really think about, since it's a majorly cutie mark focused society, I guess. Here's the next page. There's Glamrock Freddy, my old persona. There's a Hello Kitty. I think that orb thing is Kirby. Various little drawings on the back of that, and then there's that which I printed out from something I did digitally and decided to also color traditionally in a frog character. Here I had some stuff with wax paper, patty paper or something. There's the sketch underneath, and then I drew and colored on top of it. It wasn't the easiest to do because that stuff really likes to smudge. Then we have an actual sort of reference sort of thing-ish for my old persona, and I also drew a lot of Sanrio characters around it. There's Sun from Security Breach, and I think I said something here originally about how it looked a lot better on camera than it did in real life. And then just some more sketches there. This is some doodly sketch stuff. Major blank space over there. I taped these on so they could flip up, or maybe I glued them. I don't know, whatever. And some of the tape that I used, it was a double-sided tape. And it left behind those bits, and I guess was kind of peeling up. So that's something I kind of have to keep in mind when I use that tape. Longevity of it and all. I have some marker testing there, and that's a vampire character I made. It was kind of a character that sat dormant for a while, but then I decided to add him into the OC universe that I kind of work on the most, because that's a good dumping place for any spare vampire I have. And there he is again. There's a picture of me, or an outfit I was wearing that day or whatever, a Moogle, and a seasonably appropriate pumpkin. Here I have this farmer guy. I haven't really done anything with this character, and I think at the time I wanted to give him a gimmick with stupid hats that say outrageous things. Anyway, that's a character here that I have, a clown jester guy. It was based on a drawing that I did a long time ago that I found and thought would be cool to turn into an actual character. That character kind of needs a little bit of a rework though, in my opinion. I mean, it's a cool idea, but could be better. And here we have Ness from Earthbound. And then there's Ninten from the first Mother game, and another Ness. And that vampire character I mentioned. Nothing really of note here on this page, it kind of just exists. This is my persona when it was kind of starting to go through a redesign phase. I really liked this page. Well, it's 2 pages. Does that count as a spread? I don't know. But I liked this set. Just some stuff. There's my pony Sona Mountain Dew. Because Mountain Dew sounds kind of like a pony name. Doesn't have a cutie mark, by the way. That's just a sticker to look like a cutie mark. Thought it would be a cool idea. Here is where my persona was actually really going through redesign. And there's another furry that I made based on Fiora from Bungo Stray Dogs. And I might actually just use that as my main persona, because I can. And I think this is where I left off the last time. So, yeah. I don't feel like going back to check that, though. So, if it's not, oops, I guess. Here we have Max, which is a character I made. And then, like, that's kind of his... It's not really an evil shadow self. Ooh, or like a mirror version. It's kind of hard for me to explain, but it's like an idealized fictional version that doesn't really exist, but sort of does. Like, the only thing I can really think of to compare it to is like having an internet persona. Or like masking, I think. I don't know. Anyway, then we've got Briar and Zelen and Elias from my main OC universe, you know. Apparently I had more to say about this than I thought. I don't really have anything to say about this now, though, and I don't remember what I said before. So here we have, like, me, ooh, cool, whatever, and my character Kit, and another doodle that I never filled up the page on, some pencil sketches or whatever. Not really much that I can think of to say about it. Then we have a couple characters here. There's Oleandrin and Olia, and they're kind of the same person, but it's like different times. There's Olia, who's like the past, and then there's Oleandrin, who's like the future after he's gotten a little bitter and like angry and stuff. And then he keeps going back in time to keep Olia from turning into him. Or something. I'm still kind of working it out, working out the details. But that's kind of what I'm going. Oh, excuse me. I've got these little designs. Just thinking of using that little guy there as like an adopt or something, because I'm not ever gonna use it probably. It was based on like a pair of earbuds I got. The only problem is that I don't know how to sell adopts, so, or if there would even really be much of a market for it. So I made this little comic. I don't feel like reading it. But it kind of shows how Max is as a character. And kind of, you know, how all that works. I don't know. I'm really kind of bad at explaining this stuff. I'm a little tired. So am I like gonna turn the page yet? Can we turn the page, please? I've talked about this enough. I don't even know what I would talk about. Probably trying to explain the whole character thing again? Re-explain it? I'm not sure. I don't even remember what I said there, and I don't feel like grabbing the old audio to figure it out because it's so awful and quiet that it's really not a good experience to listen to. Okay, new page. This is Beta. He's like an android robot, whatever. And he wants to have a little farm where he raises chickens. Because they're his favorite animal. Then some pencil sketches that I did of Briar. Some miscellaneous sketches there. And then this is from... Okay, moving on. Fine, okay. There's Briar and Gale. They're like best friends. Totally just best friends. Yep, totally just friends. Watercolor testing. And I think I had an acrylic paint pen test up there. And there is like a practical test. Sketches, like a couple of those are characters I don't really draw ever. Here I think I was experimenting with my style. I don't know. Then there's Fyodor from, there's him saying a line straight out of Duolingo. I'm not gonna say it myself because, like, my pronunciation would be so bad that, like, I would be exploded on sight. But anyway, that's different page now. There's that, which is an outfit I got. Practical marker test. There's Max again. And so I have this whole thing. It was going to be an animation. I never really finished it. This is like the original planning for it. It was taking a lot longer than I expected, and I kind of started losing momentum while making it. And it was a lot of work. What I might do is I might, like, decide to throw the unfinished version somewhere. Anyway, this page here is a soup guy. He makes soup. That's why he's called Soup Guy. These are some sketches that I did with a woodless pencil. It's like just graphite or whatever. I really like those. They're fun to use. Then this next page, originally it didn't really focus, but I had to do close-ups like this, and yeah, blurry garbage, it didn't focus. I threw my hand in the way and that fixed it, sort of. Anyway, the page had, a pony and soup guy. Here I decided to just paint the whole page, and I used like Poscas or something to make little doodles all over it. So that's fun. The black one I think was a generic brand. But it's all acrylic paint markers, I don't know. Got those little guys there. And this is, again, Soup Guy stuff, as well as his business partner who works as a butcher. Because you've like, I don't know, protein. These were sketches from something I was gonna do and then never did because I kind of forgot about it. Or maybe I lost motivation, or both. That's a continuation. Now, here is my Utau, and right here is the original design that I had. I then, of course, did a bit of a redesign. Not that this is a bad design. I think it would be cool as like an alternate origin outfit or something, but this is what I've got here for the design, the current one. I don't have a name for it yet, but I have the voice bank basically done. I'm just really nervous about putting stuff together and like releasing it, and so here, like, okay, I've got some sketches here, and my persona current in a pumpkin, and this is where I decided to throw in a shameless self-promo, blah blah commissions, blah blah YCH thing, whatever. I mean, if you want your character in a pumpkin, you know, maybe consider commissioning me for that. I have a thing up right now. If you use the code YOWIWEEN, you can even get 20% off of that or any other commission that I have listed. And that only lasts until November, so, you know, maybe consider it. You know, or not if you don't want to, like, whatever. Anyway, more Utau stuff. I drew, like, with the hood up, and then right there is the hair. It makes, like, little horn shapes, so that's cool. Lots of yawning, lots of tired. Yeah. So, more pencil sketches, I think, again, with, one of those woodless pencils. Those were both, like, self-portrait attempts, but they look kinda, well, the one at least looks kinda, weird. But I drew some flowers, and those look nice. I like drawing those flowers. They're like the one flower I know how to draw, so they come out pretty nice every time. I was kind of trying to design a character here, the main antagonist of my main universe I'm working on. I don't really like this design though. I can't seem to get the design right for what I want. It all ends up looking kind of off somehow. It's like I have a specific idea in my head, but I can't really execute it. So there's this, more watercolor things, you know. And the pink came through. It was like kind of a wash sort of thing. I don't know, like, the actual terms for stuff. I just do the stuff. But the pink came through a bit too much. So these are tests that I did with watercolor and, like, alcohol. 70% alcohol, like, you know, rubbing alcohol. Just to see how that would react. and I used a few different sets. I had a set from Five Below, a set from Amazon, and another set. This is a character I have named Rex, unless I decide to name, like use a different name, but so far, the name I've picked is Rex. And, yeah, there's that. On the other side is a zombie that I had an idea for, and then never really followed through on. It's more like I got kind of absorbed in other characters I had, so that this one kinda got forgotten. And I didn't really have much going on with this character anyway. More ideas. I think that was an idea for some animated thing. Just like watercolor again. Watercolor, I like doing that. Again, another idea I had, little pen bits. I guess the pen wasn't working or something. I'm not really sure. There's a keyblade design based on different keyblades I liked. Because that's pretty cool, I guess. Then, pencil-y stuff. I really don't have much to say about these things. I did when I made the video originally, I guess. But now it's just kind of, here's this, here's that. There was that character that, it's not really a character, I kind of just designed that in a pick row or whatever. Then there's my Utao again, like I was saying, an origin outfit, based on the original design that I made. And there's like a self-insert character on the other side, who would actually use the keyblade I designed. And there I am going back to it. Oh, spoilers. Miscellaneous pencil sketches. A little thingy, a little guy. Tails doll. Again, watercolor. But yeah, Tails doll. And something I'll never finish. This is a character named Lysander. He is a doctor. Specifically, he is training to become a pediatric ophthalmologist. Because he is missing his eye and wanted to help other kids, like how he was helped when he had to lose his eye as a kid, and it was over something really stupid too, like the dreaded table corner. Anyway, he wears a glass eye, and when he's got to seem professional and normal, he wears a normal looking one that matches his eye color, but he also likes to wear fancier ones that don't match or just look cool. And when I draw them looking the same, I like to use a slightly different tone so that you can tell it's something different. Wow, still going on this page. Okay. So are we gonna flip the page yet? Still talking about it. It's times like this I really wish I, could have used the original audio. Alright. A pencil sketch of my Utao, and then pen sketch of, me, my persona, whatever, but with cat ears instead of rabbit ears. Trying something different there. And oh, look, there's Gale. And he's talking about Briar. So yeah, that's neat. And here's the last page. And I ended it on March 17th of 2025 at 5:32 a.m. On the back here, I also have more stickers from stuff. So, yeah, that's the sketchbook, I guess. Hope you enjoyed this. Sorry for the voiceover and the lack of coherency. What's it that YouTubers say? Like, subscribe, share, whatever. I don't care. Do what you want, If you feel so inclined, consider supporting me on Ko-Fi, buying a commission or whatever. Any of that.